Here at Preservation Virginia, it's a top priority to train the next generation of preservation specialists. Supported by the National Endowment for the Humanities and donors like you, we've expanded our team to include restoration apprentices. The team is currently working on the roof and gutter system of the 1805 Cole Diggs House, Preservation Virginia's main office in downtown Richmond.
All right, so this is the Preservation Virginia headquarters, the Cole Diggs House. This is what the headquarters uses to run all their administration. And it used to be the Engineers Club. So right now we are working on the front porch gutters. So we are correcting the pitch and repairing and replacing the rotted members of the front of the roof.
So today the restoration department is reinstalling the corbels and trim that goes underneath the soffit that we had to replace here on the upper roof of the Cole Diggs house. We had to remove the corbels and the trim to access the rotten soffit, and then Mike joined a few heart pine boards to make a nice wide full-length new soffit for us. And we took the opportunity to epoxy, consolidate all of the corbels that came off, and then refabricate missing trim from corbel 2 and corbel 5, and refabricate corbel 5, which was a total lost cause, too wet and broken into way too many pieces. So yeah, today is reinstallation day. Get all my scrunchy faces while I try and get everything in.
So I've worked on, I think, every single one of the Preservation Virginia properties now. The Lighthouse, Bacon's Castle, the John Marshall House, Scotchtown a lot. Actually, we've done a lot of work over at Patrick Henry Scotchtown. I think I like Scotchtown the best. That's one of my favorites. It's just very unusual. It's unusually large. It's a very, very large house. And the attic in that place is just really interesting.
Not only was the front porch roof and gutter system repaired during this project, but work was also done that led to new discoveries and disproved theories.
These projects are not only important for the overall maintenance of the building, they actually often give us a chance to learn more about the structures themselves. For instance, on this structure, we know the core of the building was constructed in the first decade of the 19th century, and that the porch I'm standing on now was in place by the 1850s. There was some speculation that this porch was moved from an earlier porch on the east side of the building. We were able to actually take a closer look at the building materials and the building technologies used on this porch and actually disprove that. One of the ways we're able to date the porch is by looking at saw marks on building materials used in the porch construction. This is a piece of decking board in which you can see large circular saw marks. Circular saws were not in use commonly when the core of the building was constructed in the first decade of the 19th century, but would have not been out of place at all in the 1850s when the porch was built.
The historic preservation field really needs new folks to come into the field, especially young folks coming into the field, because right now all the folks who have the hands-on practical experience, who've done it for decades and know everything, are all looking to get out of the field, to retire and to pass their knowledge on, or at least teach somebody for a while they're still on, because this is a sort of job that takes quite a few years of hands-on experience to learn. Book learning and degrees are all well and good, but I didn't have to get a degree to do this job. I learned on the job by doing and screwing up and learning from my mistakes and having people who've done it for years and years before me show me the right way to do it. So it's a field that pretty much anybody who has some degree of problem-solving skills can get into, and this job just cultivates your problem-solving skills, because every historic building has its own set of problems and nothing's ever exactly the same. And that's actually one of the perks of the jobs, is you will never get bored on this job. So if you're tired of glazing windows one week, the next week you will be doing some traditional joinery. The week after that, you'll do some brickwork. It's an old house has a lot of different parts, and they all need to get fixed one day. So quite a lot of variety in this job, and I really encourage anybody who's just not quite sure what they want to do with themselves. If you want to be outside, if you want to work with your hands, if you want to get paid to learn, it's a fantastic job to get into.